What's up, crypto junkies? Welcome to another news segment. This news segment is going to be completely 100% dedicated to Binance and their recent dramas. I'm sure if you're a part of the crypto Twitter community, and really the crypto space as a whole in the last 24 hours has been pretty loud about what's going on with Binance. So you came here to be filled in, let me fill you in. Here we go. So yesterday it was announced, and CZ immediately retweeted that Binance was going to update their fee structure and that they are 100% donating it to charity, which seems admirable, right? And it seems like, wow, you know, CZ once again a hero. Does it not seem like he's always just there at the right time in the right place, you know, almost like Superman, just always doing the right thing, and everyone's just always seeing CZ in this bright light. I think that facade's starting to finally be chipped away a little bit, which is a good thing. I think he's really, really great at marketing in a market that has a lot of really bad marketers and a lot of really bad marketing. So he stands out and usually looks quite different than the most. But anyways, those viewpoints aside, let's stick to the facts. They are getting rid of the listing fees, but they're not. They're donating them to charity. And the charity just happens to be their charity. So what a beautiful play this was. You just operate like everybody else with having a fee, and then you come out and you say that you're going to remove the fee and give it to charity, which just happens to be your charity. One, you don't lose any money in the company, and two, you look like a hero to anyone who could possibly frame up any angle. They really can't, because you look like a hero all the time. And so this charity to me is a little bit weird, just because, I mean, isn't there like a million other charities working on this? Hold on, here's the BCF goals. I mean, isn't there like a million other charities working on this? How many trillions of dollars get donated every year and never go to the charity? 10% of it, right? We're starting to find out some of those truths with Clinton Foundation and some of the things going on there. All the money they took from Haiti, and very little of it actually went to Haiti, because if you go to Haiti still today, it's dog. So, I mean, really, what's going on here? And so they frame up these nice numbers: 3.9 trillion of investments needed. There's only 1.4 trillion. There's a gap of 2.5 trillion that they want to pick up, because otherwise in 15 years, it's $40 trillion in deficit for this sustainable development goals. This is what we want to accomplish, right? This is what BCF wants to accomplish. But I don't know, like, call me crazy. This looks like every other charity foundation. They speak the same language. It sounds like either they all copy and pasted from like the same place, or they're just all the same people. I guess maybe I'm being a bit harsh, but we'll just have to see where this goes. You know, now there's going to be an absolute ton of money donated to this charity. Let's see. I hope that the community, especially the crypto community, but the rest of the world, this 1 billion people in this poverty class, holds them accountable in some sort of way. I hope that we hear about this and see that the money and the mission is actually being fulfilled, and it's not just a prop to make somebody, you know, a leader of an exchange look philanthropic when they're not. So yeah, maybe I am being a bit too harsh, and we'll have to just wait and see. But needless to say, people really didn't like this news. So if you go and just search Binance on Twitter, there's a couple hashtags that are floating around. Look at that, 60 new posts just in the time I had that open, which has been in the last maybe 10-15 minutes. So 60 new posts about Binance, and most people are all talking the same thing. Just how convenient it is that everything is always showing CZ in a public light. And if you look at CZ's account for the last 24 hours, he doesn't actually address this at all. He covers this, hope others will follow, with this listing fee, which again just frames him as a hero. And he talks a little bit about SALT and people kind of making fun. He thanks Forbes again for a great article somewhere in the last 24 hours, which Forbes, and yeah, here it is right here, and all these big mainstream media players are always just writing good things about CZ. So, I mean, is he paying for this? Do they actually feel this way? Because we've seen the bias with some of the mainstream media, and it's not always that they're trying to portray a hero just out of the kindness of their hearts and they're playing a fair game. But it's been interesting, he didn't really respond at all up until this point. But you know who is talking about Binance, and not in the greatest of ways, is Jeremy Tate, who is the CEO of Digibyte, which I actually just refollowed him for probably the 5th time. Kind of proves credence to this whole shadow banning concept once again. Followers and following being randomly removed for no one's reason. I didn't unfollow this guy, why would I? And so that's pretty interesting. But take a step back for a second. Digibyte was developed and launched in 2013. It's one of the oldest cryptocurrencies around. There's no reason why Digibyte is not on Binance. And I've always wondered this. And I'm sure if you've been in the crypto space for a while, you've kind of asked yourself the same thing. Like, what the heck's going on here? Why isn't Digibyte, which is on literally almost every other exchange, why is it not here? Well, it turns out that there's a reason to this. It started with the fact that Jared and team have stated that they are not going to pay the listing fee. The listing fee is pretty obnoxious. I've heard variations of it, but it's very, very expensive, okay? Next, some of the DGB community got wrapped up in this weird WeChat conspiracy around China. Apparently, Binance leveraged and used DGB back in 2017 when they were first getting their start. I remember when Binance first started coming on the scene too, by the way, at the Citibank Tech for Integrity event. From there, he's mentioning that many Digibyte community members have filled out their application, Binance's application for listing, and claim that they had to jump through many hoops, ridiculous and unprofessional hoops, he actually stated. And I know this to be true as well because Digibyte community is very loyal, and I know people who have filled out this application many times. So, I mean, we're probably looking at literally dozens of applications. You would have to be living under a rock to recognize that Digibyte's not on there. You know, CZ's got to see this. What he points out is that through all of this, they're still not listed, and Binance has listed several very dodgy coins, which now it's starting to delist some of these. Syscoin is a really great example of this. This was a really weird situation. When did that happen with Syscoin, by the way? July 4th. So yeah, there it is, July 4th. And look at how this article starts. Today was another Binance special, a total pump and dump scenario where a crappy Syscoin was recently valued under 20 cents, was apparently sold for 96 Bitcoin. Yes, that actually did happen. $624,000. I don't know what happened there and how that got worked out. Nobody ended up hearing about that, but I actually reported on this when it happened. I remember this. There have definitely been some questionable coins listed on Binance ever since. And so going back to it, why is Digibyte still not listed? And he ends it by saying that he was told over the weekend that if he publicly apologized to CZ for his quote-unquote mistakes on refusing to pay the bribe and calling out the pump and dump activity, that they might consider adding Digibyte in a few months. And most of the crypto community is essentially behind Jared on this, and they want CZ to weigh in on this, which I don't know if he will. Today, Binance published who they're going to be delisting, and BCN hasn't even been on there that long. I didn't even know chat was on there because I don't look at the coins that they list anymore. ICN and Trig. And so Trig and ICN and BCN, all these just tanked. Where is it? No, I don't have it pulled up, but if you look at their charts, they're all bad. Okay, there's no charts there. And so the charts all essentially tanked, especially for Trig and BCN. And that's interesting because a few months ago, these were all pumped up. Well, BCN was pumped up, and now they're delisting it. So why are they delisting it? And then we have the Syscoin situation back in July, but this is just many in a long stream of pump and dumps that have happened on Binance. So much so that if you go into a lot of ICO Telegram channels, they're begging the developers to just shut up and pay the astronomical high fees to get listed on Binance so that they can see a pump and dump and make some money and dump the coin. Like, this is, none of this, understand, is sustainable in this space. None of this leads to a beautiful sunny side result that people want in this world. None of it leads to restructuring the centralized aspects of this world and pulling up the poverty levels and pulling people out of poverty. None of this leads to that. I hate to say it, but and if that wasn't completely obvious, I guess I will say it. So interesting times for Binance, 100%. Let's see if CZ actually responds to this. I will definitely shoot another video if he does, but at this point, he really hasn't said anything. Talking a little bit about the salt on the delisting and trying to frame it like they're doing the right thing and that they're the good guys. I will say that overall, I think that this exchange fee, ransom fee to get listed needs to change. because it is stopping a lot of really great projects from having the exposure that they deserve for the overall good of the space, which I thought that's what we were doing this for. You know, so that's my challenge if CZ or somebody on the Binance team happens to see this. You got your foundation, you got your valor, you know, you got your pins, your proud pins that are now on your blazer. You've got all that, but yet you're not doing the fundamental thing that you claim that you're here to do, which is help the cryptocurrency community. If you were, then you would reanalyze your fees, you'd reanalyze what coins you're listing and how you're listing these coins, and you'd be looking at coins like Digibyte and a lot of, I mean, many others that will do good, that have proven to do good, are out there doing good, and should be listed on your exchange. That's my challenge to you. Anyways, if this is your first time to the channel and like what we're doing here, go ahead and click the like button and place a comment. Let me know what you think with all this drama kind of going around. Let's see what CZ says. Place a comment. Let me know what you think. And if this is your first time to the channel, of course, subscribe. Hit the bell notification so that you don't miss out on any of these sweet, juicy updates we'll be having on this channel. Be on the lookout because we will be dropping more videos in the next 12 to 24 hours. See you, my friends.